Hello fellow riders and welcome back to Airhead Barn. In this short series of episodes we were able to show you how to upgrade some of the bike components, particularly how to upgrade OEM Brembo and ATE brakes to the modern, and also how to install Toaster 10 top brace on R75/7. And this is kind of final episode where I'm going to conclude with upgrades. We won't do any kind of wrenching here. It will be a really short summary on all upgrades that I have on these two bikes and that I really appreciate and like to have on a bikes. I would like to hear your comments as well. What are you running on your Airheads? So let's continue. The list is kind of extensive, so that's why I put a table together, and I divided it into three main parts, like mechanical upgrades, electrical, and then ergonomy or equipment upgrades. So regarding mechanical upgrades on R75/7, and you were able to see some of these, we have Zebenrock 1000cc like big bore kit, which really brought this little bike to life, and it's really amazing thing. Up front we have Racetech emulators and springs in forks. You were able to see modern brakes that I was able to do here. Bike came with Lester wheels, and then also another episode that we filmed was Toaster 10 top brace. Regarding electrical upgrades, bike came with electro-optic ignition from EME. I believe in Duralast, and that one works as a charm really nice, so no need to play with points anymore. Also we have 270 watt alternator here in Colorado. I really like using heated gears, and that makes a huge difference. Then we have NGK cables on every bike, every Airhead. I like to do this upgrade, adding charging resistors, so if a lamp dies you don't end up stranded on a road without charging. Bike also has Endurolast coils, and the final electrical thing is Endurolast upgraded diode board, like heavy duty diode board and voltage regulator. So those are electrical components that were upgraded on this bike. And then from ergonomy or equipment standpoint of view, the only thing that I have is a tank bag here. And with that concludes essentially the list of upgrades that I did for this bike. This one here is a bike that I use for my camping trips. I love this R80ST, very comfortable bike, and for that reason you will see that list of upgrades was a bit different here on this bike compared to R75. So let's start with the mechanical thing. Mechanically, suspension was upgraded on this one. On the back we are running really nice Wilbur's shock that has a separate cartridge, separate reservoir, and on the front we have, similar to R75/7, we have Racetech emulators and their springs. You were able to see the brakes that I upgraded. The difference from Brembo going to modern Brembo is nice and great, but not as significant as going from ATE brakes. That's my overall conclusion. And I also have GS tank here, which is 6-gallon compared to the original 5-gallon tank that was installed on ST, and that gives me pretty nice autonomy on this bike. Another thing that I have with this bike is skid plate. I didn't want to go with GS option because that would require me to get another oil pan where on a GS skid plate is mounted, and I didn't like the fact that skid plate is mounted directly on the oil pan, because then all hits are actually transferred to the oil pan and engine. I wanted to have a strong skid plate that is mounted on a frame, and I made my own, and that one works as expected. It works really nice. Alright, those are all mechanical things done to this bike. Electrical, same as R75 NGK cables. Then I also have Endurolast coils, charging resistor as well, and also I did set of relays and fuses on this bike. It had, I believe, only 2 fuses, almost no relays except for turn signals, and I was able to actually run relays for the headlight. This headlight here is the light bulb is LED. Not sure that it matters that much, but it definitely consumes less power, so it leaves more juice for heated gear. Alright, now ergonomy equipment. There is a pretty extensive list on this bike. So what I have here is very comfortable rig seat, and on top of that I have sheepskin pad, and that gives me really nice comfort during long rides. You know, after that like 4-day camping trip, I'm almost like sitting in my sofa, so that's pretty amazing. Also, I was able to do top case on this bike. It came from RT, and then with the fabrication of some holders I was able to make RT top case work on this bike. Next thing what I have is a giant loop tank bag here. I put GV screen, and besides LED headlight I also have some LED auxiliary lights. These are kind of cheap version. I'm not running anything crazy expensive here. That's just to increase a bit visibility. And finally, at this moment, like standard plastic OEM BMW side bags are mounted, but when I go camping I use Lone Rider side bags. They are soft. If I go down they are not going to break on me, and they work really nicely with this bike. Okay, that essentially concludes the list of all upgrades that I have on these 2 bikes. And I hope you like this short series of episodes, and I hope to see you soon on some new restoration projects. Thank you for watching.